presenting the final organic valuation after modifying some issues I had in the first presentation. First, the organic growth is a hypothetical case where the calculation is based on the fact that Apple will grow without any external funding, and meaning that the cumulative additional funds should reach zero. So I started by estimating the growth percentages till on the Excel model till it reaches 0.3, which is almost zero. So I got that 2.15, the growth percentage would be 9.8, and from 2016 to 2019 to be constant of 7%. Then I started to calculate the new WACC for the new hypothetical case using the rules applied before. Basically adding both debt and equity together and calculating each as a percentage to get the WACC. And I got a total WACC of 12.98, which is a higher WACC than the original WACC. And these are the formulas I used for the coming calculations. The working capital calculation, the free cash flow, the present value, and PV residual, as well as free cash flow valuation. Some estimations I did for this hypothetical case is that the growth rate is much lower than the actual rate, and it's 1.66%. The risk rate of 0.028, which is double the normal risk rate, a beta of 0.99547, and a capital expenditure for 2015 of 11,247 million. So as for the valuation, after plugging in all the numbers in the Excel model, I got the free cash flow in the positive now, which was corrected than the previous presentation, since now I plugged in the increase in working capital, so making the figures much more realistic. And I calculated the terminal value as well, which I discussed before will be higher than the present value, since it's the value of the company from the start till it ends. And I calculated the discounted cash flow as well, and I add the summation of all years to get the present value, which turned out to be 77 billions, which makes sense now because it's way less than the actual figure of Apple, which is now Apple valuation is almost 800 billions, so 77 billion only going on the internal funds makes sense, and a terminal value of 566 billion, which makes sense as well. So the conclusion that WACC is 12.98 compared to the actual WACC, which is 9.78. This increase denotes a decrease in valuation as well as increase in risk, which makes sense in this hypothetical case. As for the calculated present value, turns out to be 77 billion, and the organic valuation a total of 566 billion, which makes sense since it's way lower than the actual scenario of Apple, which is one of the highest value companies in the stock market of almost 700 billions. This is it. Thank you.